Hey guys, wanted to touch on a story in the news that is getting quite a bit of press, and that is about a UK boy, I think 17 years old, who has recently lost his vision, and they're blaming his diet. Now, his diet's pretty extreme. They said he only ate Pringles, white bread, and French fries, I think is the kind of three foods he was eating, and decided that he had various food aversions, and when he was younger, he was complaining of tiredness and some other things, and they brought him in and found that he was B12 deficient. As someone who has a child who is extremely food averse, you know, this kind of hits a little bit close to home. My son only likes certain textures. He really struggles with some foods that are not real crispy. And one of the things I do, and it's not perfect, obviously you'd love your kids to eat everything you put in front of them, but us parents out there who have actually had kids know that parenting isn't always perfect. So I always give multivitamins to my kids every day. Now, interesting in this report, it's really, really rare for somebody to have a vitamin B12 deficiency in a Western society who's eating any kind of animal products, because they're pretty rich in vitamin B12. Even like low quality stuff like ham and sausages and fried foods, they still have quite a bit of B12. And what's recently come into the news is that he's permanently lost his vision, that he appears to have, I believe it was optical nerve damage. And they're citing that he has B12 deficiency, copper deficiency, selenium deficiency, and a whole host of other things. Now, I think we can all agree that this kid's diet is really poor, really nutritionally devoid. What I would say is if he was having these problems, I would definitely recommend him being on a multivitamin and a fiber supplement at the very least. As somebody whose son has a lot of food aversions, and especially kids who are on the spectrum, 92% of them have sensory problems. They really, and when I say like won't eat, like it's not like, oh, they're just being fussy. No, they would literally rather starve than eat certain foods. It can be really tough. So to those parents who really struggle with that, it's not ideal. Obviously, we'd love kids to eat fresh fruits, vegetables, all that kind of stuff. If you can't get them to do that, at least get them supplementing with a multivitamin, a fiber supplement. That's going to go a long way. And then try to work those foods in to their diet slowly over time, usually in kind of a stepwise progression, right? So if they like crispy foods, you know, maybe try to work vegetables in as fried vegetables. I know it's not perfect, but it's at least introducing that food in kind of a progressive way for them. Now, there is some pushback on this kid's case. A couple of professors of nutrition have come out and said that they're not convinced that his diet caused this, and here's the reason why. A lot of foods are now fortified with vitamins and minerals. Even what we would consider some junk foods or empty foods are fortified with vitamins and minerals, a lot of breads even. So it'd be really, really strange in this day and age to see, like especially a vitamin B12 deficiency. I'm not saying it can't happen. It could happen, but it's also you're relying on this person's personal recall of their diet, and they're not really considering environmental causes or genetic abnormalities. Those haven't been considered. It's just been blamed on their diet. I think a lot of times when we have illness or we have health problems or we have anything come up, we immediately like jump to, oh, it has to be something we ate. It has to be something we put in our body. Well, sometimes, but not always. It's extremely interesting that he doesn't have a vitamin C deficiency, right? With the foods he's eating, he should be having scurvy based on the foods that he's eating, but he doesn't. So again, I'm not saying that his diet was good. It's not. I'm not completely convinced his diet caused this, but what I will say is that if you're on a very extreme elimination style diet, whether it be you're eating a lot of junk food, you're only eating meat, you're only eating vegan, you're only eating low carb, whatever it is where you're eliminating a large portion of food groups, please consider supplementing with a multivitamin and possibly a fiber supplement, because it really will go a long way. Again, it's obviously better to get fresh vegetables and fruits if you can, unless you're a carnivore and you think that plants are trying to poison us, in which case maybe you want to go to a psychiatrist, I don't know. Guys, if you're interested in reading more about this case, you can click the link in the description. Also, feel free to click the links of the stuff we sell because that helps us keep doing these wonderful videos for you. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this information, and we will catch you next time.